Hello and welcome to this mystery reading. My name is Molly, also known as the Quantum Leap Queen. We're just going to hop right into this reading today. I'm going to set the intention to give you the best messages that you need to hear today. This reading is as much mystery to me as it is to you. I'm just channeling, I'm just the messenger. So we shall see what comes out, what you need to hear. Just trust if you clicked on this video that this is the message that you need. That's what these mystery readings are designed for you to come in and get nourishment based on your intuition. You can pick a reading and it helps you practice your magic and then receive magic. So it's a beautiful exchange. Again, I set the intention. I am using the Pulp Tarot to start us off. So let's see what message we need to dive into. What are we looking at today for this group in particular? Okay, interesting. I have the King of Wands upright and the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like there's been an up-leveling within you when it comes to your own entrepreneurial journey. I get that this is a group of entrepreneurs. You've always kind of, I feel like, done your own thing, or like that's been appealing to you. And I just feel like this is a group of entrepreneurs. With the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, this is making me think that you've kind of recently let go of a lot of expectations about what your entrepreneurship can bring in. Let's say it's like something like money. I just feel like you're not as attached to what it brings in. I think right now, it seems like you're more focused on who you're becoming and what you're embodying. The King of Wands is like the entrepreneur of the tarot. That's how I see this card. Especially this card is like, there's a lot of power to it. And that's what I think you're reconnecting to, is your power at this time. And you're caring less about the outcome of what you're creating. You're simply just wanting to create and to build and to see what you can create and challenge yourself in that way. And therefore, like, honor life. I just feel like you're honoring yourself, and therefore you're honoring life more by just doing the things, even though you don't know how to do them, even though it's something new. You're just going to figure it out like you always have. So something about that, there's strong energy when it comes to your entrepreneurial journey. Let me ask, what else for this group? What do they need to know? I have the Six of Cups. Nice. I think you're putting more soul into your work too, like just more heart-centeredness, really creating from your heart, from your soul, the things that you're creating. That's going to have huge impacts and implications as far as the reach now that it can have. You're going to touch people in ways, not gross ways, but I just mean like your work is going to touch people in ways that you couldn't have anticipated. But it's because you're speaking heart to heart. You're speaking heart to heart with what you're doing. You're doing really heart-centered work. That's what I see is happening. I have Strength, number 8 in the Major Arcana. You have really battled a lot of your own demons to get here. This is literally you with your demons. You've kind of like alchemized them. You're like, yep, these are them. Aren't they cute? I think you've just taken away the impact that they've had on you, or the power that they had over you at one point, and you've integrated them by getting to know them, by doing your shadow work, and you've gotten to this place of like just more wholeness, because with strength, it is the infinity, right? It is the infinite self. And it's a reminder that we're everything. We're both sides of the coin, and we're the middle point, right? We are all our light. We are all our dark. And to really own that. And I think your groundedness in all that you are is what is now helping to propel you forward into doing more things that you're wanting to be doing. And I feel like there's soul things, there's things that you've been getting the itch about to create. And now is the time where you are much more powerful because of your past experiences, and then also the work that you've done to transmute those experiences into something so fundamentally grounded and powerful. That's what I feel. I had the Ace of Cups in the reverse. Oh, interesting. Tell me more about that, please. And the Magician. Nice. Ooh. Ooh, I love this message. I feel like it's saying you no longer let the little things bother you, or like you're much more emotionally aware of yourself. You've mastered your emotions more. So you're a better creator because of it. With the Magician energy, it's like you're much better at creating what you want in your life because you're no longer on the emotional roller coaster of every day thinking like something's wrong if you are feeling off. You've just like accepted and gotten to know your patterns of emotions. And I just feel like they don't run the show anymore. I think at one point they did, or you've had chapters where they do. But for now, what I'm seeing about this group is you're not letting your emotions control or dictate your actions anymore. Or you're really stepping into that. Maybe this is something new. But there's like this ownership of self in a brand new way. And literally new, as far as you haven't been to this level of mastery of yourself before. So you're playing in this new level. And I'm sure you feel like there's more and more to go, but like I feel like this is a message to pause for a second and to recognize just how far you've come. The work that you have not shied away from, and in fact you dove into and got to know, that all pays off in the long run. So what I'm seeing is you're someone that has done a lot of work on themselves to get to this point where you feel more like the Magician. You feel more like the creator again, or the God energy is like coming through you. It's powerful. It's really powerful. And I love that the emotions don't control you as they used to. Because that is really what's going to allow you to get things done, and to do what you want to do, what you came here to do. And of course, it's not all about doing, but I feel like this doing that we're talking about is literally just a byproduct of the person you've become. It's a side effect of you now because you are stepping in more into your power and feeling more powerful in general, and not having the little things throw you off any longer. What else? Is there any more advice for this group where they're at on their journey? I have the Sun. I love this. I want to see what's on the top of the deck. The High Priestess. Wow. Okay. So two major arcanas here, and both saying like you deserve the spotlight. You are someone, like, we need to put the people that have done the work and that we admire like in the spotlight, and I feel like that's what it's saying for you to do. Not that you're looking for praise or anything, but it's acknowledgement. It's acknowledgement of your journey, of like, again, how far you've come. With the High Priestess, I mean, this is the intuitive witch. Like, this is someone who literally is running life based on their intuition. They're no longer applying logic. Like, they see logic used to be number one, and now it's kind of like gone back maybe a few steps, and you've put intuition in the driver's seat. And that, my friends, is the most powerful thing that you can do, because that really gives it up to God. And that really puts you on the fast track, I believe. I've been living life based on my intuition for 3 years, I think now, 3 or 4 years. And it completely changed the trajectory of my life. And it's beautiful to live this way, because you don't have to like stress and logically try to like figure out like what would be the best. It's like, I don't need to waste any mental energy on that. I'm just going to get the intuitive hit about what to do, when to do it, in perfect divine timing, and I don't need to stress. That's where I feel like you're at right now, is this beautiful spot of really trusting yourself, really, really trusting yourself, and not being afraid to be seen as your true, authentic self. You know, let's say you do identify as a witch. Like, there's a lot of witch wounds that I think you have healed, and stepping into the spotlight and being seen for your magic is something that is new, but is so necessary. And it is like the karma completion of all of the things witches, but really women, have been through. So that's what I see. I think it's just there's not even like much advice. It's just confirmation about what you have been through and where you are at now, and to have a moment of honoring yourself for this journey, because it hasn't been easy at all. I think you've been to the depths of your heart and back. You've literally been to your own personal hell and back. And that is what makes you the person that you are today. And I know that even though in the moment it was probably like, I don't want to be going through this, obviously, this is my own little personal hell. But now that you're on the other side of it, you're like, I am so grateful that happened, because now I'm thriving, or I am like a completely different person, and I have these up levels, these upgrades within myself that I wouldn't have had I not gone through that situation from the past. So it's saying enjoy yourself in the sunlight, enjoy yourself in the spotlight, being more vibrant. I see you glowing more simply because you're more aligned. You are like the sun right now, you're glowing. So enjoy that. Bask in the sun. That's what I'm hearing. Bask in the sun. Enjoy this moment. That's going to amplify who you are even more. So that's your message from the tarot. I want to now move on to some oracle. Let's read some oracle messages for you. I'm going to start with I create my reality. And what is the best message for this group to hear right now in their journey, where they're at? What is the best message? I got two. Emotions are motions, and it's a mermaid. Emotions are emotions. It's number 22, by the way. So let me read what it says on the back. Emotion, energy in motion. Everything is emotion. Motion means to move. Emotion means feelings in motion. Feelings are just energy in motion. All feelings are temporary. Take a moment to honor your emotions. Allow yourself to experience the emotion without judgment. Just let it be. If you let yourself feel it and learn from it, it will then pass. Beautiful. And I really feel like that's a lot of the work that you've been doing. I think, again, this is confirmation of that. I just feel like this is a really powerful group. Thanks for being here, because I feel like we're family. We're all family here. These souls, you and others listening, and this whole group, we're souls that are we're alchemists. We transcend energy, and that's what I think this is saying. Like, you're so powerful, and it's a good reminder of when you still have emotions coming up again, not to run, but to just let them be because they're temporary and they need to live just like anything else. And they're teachers. They're such wise teachers, telling us the truth about what's really going on inside of us. So that's it. Energy and motion, emotion. This other one says, stay young. She's cute hanging off a rainbow. I am as young as I feel. Time is only a measurement. Age is a state of mind. Every day brings opportunities to learn better ways to be who you are. When you stop doing what makes your soul happy, you stop living to your full potential. Enjoy life to the fullest. That will keep you young. Stay healthy and remember to always have fun. It's a really good reminder too. Because both of these, I think, are reminding you of the balance between the work and the play. That's how I see it. This is so good because I think when, especially like as an entrepreneur, if you're identifying as that, it can be, I feel like entrepreneurial people are people that kind of live in extremes. You're used to the extremes and you can get into so focused on your work that you forget about like your own personal life sometimes, or to literally schedule more time in for play. This would be a good thing to do, to remember to get a little silly. And your age too. I mean, that's definitely, that's in my mind right now as we're talking about this. And it doesn't matter what age you are. Literally, it doesn't matter. Like every soul will go through, you know, first of all, you don't know how much time you have left, but hopefully you will have a long life, right? So every soul is going to experience every part of a life. So we need to honor each other for where we're at. And I think from what I've noticed, like the older you get, or maybe it is just more of the boomer generation, but they're so focused on their age and how old they are, but you don't need to be. You can, you are where you are. Let go of the age. Still create what you want to create, do what you want to do. And maybe you feel like you're too young to do this, that, or the other thing. And that's BS too. Like, you can do whatever you want, okay? I think that's what this message is saying, is don't take it so seriously. Don't create those limitations based on anything. Yeah. And obviously, I will say, with age comes wisdom. You, through life experience, right? You are not the same person you were even a year ago, let alone 5 years ago, let it go 10 years ago. You change a lot as you grow and you experience things. You gain wisdom. So don't stress. Don't stress. You have everything that you need in this moment to do the things that you want to do. And when you can tap more into play, when you schedule more play time in for yourself, that things that don't have to do with work, things that have to do with like connecting and community, or perhaps just following a little hobby or side project you like to do for fun, and there's no like strings attached to that, and you can just fully be silly, that's the best. That really is, I think, what's going to be a nice balance here between the work and the plays, what this message is about. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to pull from this deck. I don't know what this deck is called. I should look it up, but it's something about the sun. This is an astrology deck. It's a really cool, unique deck. And there's some astro dice I have in here. I want to roll some astro dice for you too. So what does this group need to hear? Best advice, or literally just some confirmation about where this group is at? Okay. Wow. Okay, so we have this is a really interesting combo, but we have the moon in Cancer in the 5th house. Wow. I'm picturing like The most sensitive moon there is, right? Cancer is the home sign for the moon. My moon is actually in Cancer, and it is just a super vulnerable place. You feel so deeply, and yet not everyone knows how deeply you feel because you're like the crab and you have this shell that protects you, right? But it being in the fifth house is play, children, like definitely like this stay young card, like hanging off a rainbow. It is like fertility. It is literally just like having fun. Um, so what I see about that is maybe there is some advice here for you to open up a little bit more emotionally, with other people, with your own self when it comes to the fun that you have. I don't know if it's like you haven't been allowing yourself to like really like let go, um, in areas of life and fun. But it's kind of asking you to take it to another level as far as like, don't worry how people see you when you're doing these activities or something. I don't know if it's like people are in the back of your mind, or like you have work in the back of your mind and you're thinking about like reputation and stuff like that. It's kind of like, listen, we're in a new world where the acceptance of everyone and everything for how we are is going to be the at the forefront. I truly believe that. I think we're stepping into that. So this is just a reminder for you to step more into your feelings when it comes to play. Be so silly. Let it out. Let it out. Um, yeah, literally, the advice is like, let your inner child out to play, like to the max though. Like, don't have these expectations on how you should play. Be silly, be vulnerable, be yeah, there's something like that. I think that that lightness that you bring, or that literally letting go of control, and letting the inner child, the inner source, the inner God come through, that's not only going to help you in your play, but it's going to help you in your work too. Because again, it's like embodying more of yourself, and it's allowing more of yourself, and it's creating more of that space to just be. So upgrade your plane. I feel like any advice for this group would be upgrade your plane. Okay, let's pull from the deck and just see what message needs to come out. Ooh, innovation, Jupiter in Aquarius. Look at this. You are creating something brand new. I feel like this is a entrepreneurial group, but it has to do with humanity as well, because Aquarius is humanity. You're wanting to build something for the collective, or like that's going to help multiple people, a community of people. And um, I'm hearing that it starts within you though. Like, you've been doing the work. I think the upgraded play is going to help you even more connect to yourself and therefore other people. And that what you're creating is something unique. I feel like no one has created what you're thinking of, and no one will create, even if it's something that is, let's say, more mainstream or people have done it before. It doesn't matter. No one's going to create it the way you're going to create it. You know what feels what like good to you, and like what you want to create. You know what that is. Having senses of it. Even if you don't know what it looks like, you have the feelings and the energy of what you want to create. And that's what you need to run with. That's what you will be bringing into the world here. Let me ask what other messages want to come through with this deck. Flirtation. Ooh, we have Venus in Sag. Venus in Sagittarius with flirtation. Um, again, that's getting out of your rigidness. That's kind of coming into this place. Maybe, for example, if you have been single for a while, and you haven't really even spent energy flirting with anyone, you know, that could be something that livens you up a little bit, and maybe not. Maybe the flirtation is more about flirting with either yourself, like giving yourself compliments and stuff, and like, yeah, like boosting yourself up. Also with your work and what you're creating, the innovations that you are creating. It's flirting with your dreams. That's what I feel this is a reminder of. And it's still that very playful aspect that has been a lifeline through this reading. This play, time in the sun to play. That's what I feel this message is saying. Because there is a seriousness to you because you've done so much work. It's almost like you've been in hermit mode for so long that now you're like rediscovering this new self you've cultivated out in the sun and out in the open space for people to see you. But you're still discovering yourself, and I think you will discover more of yourself when you open up it's like your heart and your expectations. Like, you have to drop trying to control how other people see you, I think is a big thing here. And also just leave so much space for you to still mess up, make mistakes, like create that. It's almost like you're the parent to your inner child, both. Like, you're really parenting yourself to relive as your child self. And you're discovering more about your child self because I don't know if you've ever had this much space to really be yourself with these new integrated lessons that you've learned. Now in adult life, it's like, okay, how can I let my inner child out to shine? That's what's going to be a magnet for other people to you, for like so many things, I think, when you open up more and drop the expectations of how you want to be perceived. I think that's a big one. So that was a good message for you. I have one more oracle deck to pull from. And let's take a look here. What does this group need to hear most with this deck? What ending messages are here for this group? Oh, I had one go. There it is. Perception. Ooh. 21. Perception. And we have the ostrich with its head in the sand. Let's just see what it says. Perception, ostrich. Ostrich speaks to us about perception. The image of burying one's head in the ground conjures a feeling of the inability to face a wider perspective. To be fair, the ostrich burrows her head in the ground not to hide, but to rotate her eggs. When this card comes to you in a reading, however, it is the symbolism of burying one's head in the ground that we are meditating upon. Studies have been conducted to show that a hill will spatically be perceived as steeper when a person is feeling sad. Our emotion literally shapes our perception. We do not see life objectively. Instead, the way we see our physical reality is influenced by our internal emotional experience. When a situation reminds your subconscious of an uncomfortable memory, your subconscious will start to shape what you see through the lens of that past experience. Ostrich asks you to look at your current situation and recognize what perceptions you may be projecting onto it. One way to begin to shift your perception is to own that your understanding is never fully accurate. Instead of drowning in uncomfortable feelings, step back and and understand that your emotions do not dictate ultimate truth. Very good. Realize that realize the control you have over your thoughts about a situation. Realize that you have control over your thoughts about a situation. This control is strengthened the more you become cognitively aware of your perception by questioning it. Start to notice the autopilot chatter in your mind. Listen to how it belittles you and other people around you. As the Buddhist meditation teacher and psychologist Tara Brach teaches, the primitive brain continuously hijacks our ability to be present in the moment. The thoughts are real, but rarely do they hold any validity. Tell yourself, don't believe the thoughts over and over again. This not only snaps you out of the autopilot zombie mind, but also starts to reprogram your brain to put you in charge of your perception. Ostrich's medicine asks you to consistently practice this awareness, and you will transition from being a victim of your thoughts to becoming a master of your perception. It's very good. And this is in line with what we've been talking about. Because I do think you're a person of extremes. I think sometimes you can get into these really deep, dark places, which also creates the root system so that you're able to be in the very high places. And again, one is not better than the other, truthfully, but I think you're up leveling, or part of this upgrade for you is becoming more centered in yourself, and not being so swayed by thoughts, by perceptions, and really choosing your perception. Again, not being the victim, like it was saying. That's really, really a good message. Yeah, that's what I feel. I think it's a reminder, because as you're continuing on the entrepreneurial journey, obviously you're going to have, and even just in your personal life, you're going to have moments where you get back into those woe is me, because maybe it feels like things are against you. And you're going to have, like, you never can predict when a family member dies or a friend dies, or like you just never know when someone gets cancer. Like, you just never know what life is going to throw at you. But now I'm making you sound like a victim a little bit. But no, you're not a victim. It's kind of like you just never know. No one ever knows what life is going to give them. But the message is to not stay in those negative thought patterns for too long, not keep your head in the sand for too long. Although I like how it mentioned that sometimes the ostrich's head are in the sand to like rotate their eggs, so they're like taking care of business. So if you're ever in those like negative moments, you could see it as that. I'm really rotating my eggs. I'm like looking at like what's here in my emotions. But it's not, you're not just gonna like keep your head there and like keep rotating them. You're gonna just look at them, discover them, like go into them, but then you're gonna resurface again with a new perspective. That's what I think this is saying. Really, the power is all to you. Like, I know you are a powerful creator. I know you feel powerful. You are magical. You are grounded. Like, you are so many things, right? You're multifaceted. And you're learning how to master your vibration even more. So I'm hoping you got some nourishment from this reading, and yeah, keep kicking booty. That's what I want to say. Like, keep doing your thing. We need more people that are not afraid to be in the light. We need more people to shine. This is just the time that we're in and what we're coming into. And how exciting is it that we're in a life now where we can portray our talents and gifts that we were given and not be persecuted for it, and instead be celebrated and use it as a way to connect with others and to bridge connection with other people and therefore community. It's just a beautiful thing. And we can uplift each other with our gifts. So that's it for this reading. I hope you enjoyed and hope it brought you nourishment. Again, come back anytime you need nourishment. These readings are timeless. Simply choose one based on your intuition, and you'll be all and you'll be all good in the hood. So, thanks again, guys. Have a great one. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.